Thanks for joining us. We are live at 5 and ready to get to your thoughts on our story today. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook because we want you to be part of our conversation. I'm Cheryl Preheim here with Aisha Howard and special guest Dr. Tracy Nailor from Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Dr. Nailor is here to talk about a controversial subject. Do you ever send kids to school when they're sick, or have your kids ever gotten sick because some child went to school who probably should have stayed home?
Yeah, a lot of you guys are talking about this. We put it on our social media pages, but we want the doctor to weigh in immediately, Dr. Tracy, with what you say. We're going to hear from the parents in a little bit, but what do you say about sending sick kids to school?
So, don't.
That's the word.
It's simple. It's a simple answer to the question.
Yeah.
Do people do it? Yes, they do. But it's very simple. If your child is sick, if you are sick, if your child is sick, do the very best you can to keep them at home. I mean, it's so easy for children to spread germs from one to another, you know, especially the younger kids who are, you know, sort of wiping their noses or coughing and then touching the doorknobs, touching their desk, and then the other kids come around. And so it just bounces from one person to the next.
They do everything so close.
And they do everything so close. And even the older kids, they do group projects now. You know, long gone are the days where kids are sitting at desks in a single line doing their own little papers. They're working together, they're interacting. And so it is extremely important to take that into consideration when you're thinking about sort of, you know, giving that kid a little Tylenol and out the door they go.
Not to mention the cafeteria. Whoop, that's a whole nother table.
That's a whole, we can have a whole segment about the cafeteria.
That's for sure.
Right.
So we're getting a lot of comments on this. Let's bring in Nicole Anderson-Jones' perspective about this, saying, I feel that if your child is sick, they should stay home. When my children were of school age, it seemed like every time school started back, they always came home sick because people and their disease carrier kids infecting my kids. You can tell Nicole's a little frustrated.
A little frustrated. Disease carrier kids.
Sheldon Shorter has another perspective. It's a rough decision. I retain standby leave and sitters with backups just for this issue. I think this is a really important point. Dr. Nailor, I don't think most parents want to send a child to sick, but there are some parents who work maybe a couple jobs, don't have paid time off, don't have sick leave. So if they don't go to work, they don't make money. If they don't make money, maybe it's no dinner. These are hard choices, but having a backup or an alternative is so important.
And you couldn't be more correct. And it's a very difficult decision. You know, you have families where there's a single mom as a head of the home. And so, again, as you said, if she doesn't work, then the family doesn't get taken care of. Or you have families where the mother or the father or both work two jobs. And so they just can't be there. And what I would say, and I run into this myself, is you have to sort of find out who those parents are that maybe have flexible schedules. You know, talk to each other. It really does take a village. And so it is of utmost importance to just identify those people and talk with other parents, because at some point everybody's sort of in the same boat. And even if you have a job and you have leave, do you really want to take all of your leave and all of your vacation time because your child is sick? So that's another thing to consider. And you know, you have a family vacation plan and you maybe can't take it because your child was sick and had to be home. So identifying those folks, and as the gentleman said on his response, you know, maybe having a backup babysitter if you can afford it is always great. And I always say, you know, just do your very best, but sometimes you have to make a difficult decision.
And I feel like you really have to plan for it, because especially like they said, when school starts back, you know it's going to just be a domino effect. It's coming, flu season, it's coming. The CDC actually gave us some recommendations that we want to share with you guys as well. They're really interesting, so let's take a look at these. Implement flexible sick leave policies for students and staff. How about that? Avoid the use of perfect attendance awards. Some kids take that serious.
Because that's additional pressure. I don't want to miss out on my award, so I'm going.
They want that certificate. Also, cross-train staff so that others can cover for coworkers who need to stay home. Because sometimes that coworker needs to stay home with their own child. They're not sick, but they need to do it for their own child.
And this happens in workplaces too. I mean, we're just big kids, right? I mean, are there times that we're going to work because we feel the pressure not to miss a day when it would be better for the people around us just to go ahead and stay home and get well.
Yeah, because you know you're going to be that person. They hear one cough, one sneeze, and everyone's looking at you like, what are you doing here?
And
when they start to feel a little scratchy throat, they're like, it was you.
Right.
So yeah, we never want to bring that into the environment, right?
We really don't. You really want to think once, twice, and then a third time before you drag yourself. And you know, sometimes I think people are sort of martyrs. You know, I have to be in because they need me.
Yep.
And what they really need is for you to stay home and take care of yourself. And what those children really need is for you to be with them and make sure that they get better. Sometimes, you know, the best medicine is a little TLC too.
Yeah. Yes.
Dr. Nailor, so well said. And thank you for being here in the Insight. I appreciate it so much.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
So weigh in. We want to know what you think about this. Keep the conversation going. Leave your comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We post here every day. Have a great one.